Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. I'm your coach, your host, David On Point Huffman. Right there in the middle is Mr. TJ Hopkins, who's hiding from the camera. Who knows what he's up to? And then there was Kristen Simpson from DailyBlitz.blog, who just left the show. But if you're looking for consistent content on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you have come to the right place. We go live basically every single day, bringing the most up-to-date content you're looking for. So please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast so we can continue giving you guys good content. As I mentioned, we basically run shows every day covering the NFL, covering the NBA, covering college football, and soon there will be a college basketball show here up starting, including tomorrow. Me and TJ are going to be breaking down the Western Conference. We talked about the Eastern Conference already last week. Tomorrow is going to be our Western Conference breakdown. That show started at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and CEO of Prime Sports, Israel Rivera, also hosting Fantasy Football Weekly. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much for joining us here at Prime Sports World. I have shared the StreamYard link into all of the places, including the main Prime Sports World Facebook page. So if you want to join us and talk a little NFL action, more than welcome to do so, but just keep your comments appropriate. Welcome into the show from DailyBlitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Welcome into the show, my friends. How is everybody?
Everyone's good. How about you?
I'm doing good. You know, life is good. You know, let's just get right into it. Let's start with Monday Night Football. Raiders falling 29-30 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Just on a side note, this may have been the worst officiated game I've ever seen in my life. But on stat-wise, Derek Carr, 19 of 30, 241 and 2 tutties. Josh Jacobs, another good game for him as they continue to give him the rock. 21, 154, 7.31 touchdown. Devontae Adams had a big game here. 3 catches for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of them was a 58-yard touchdown. And then on the Chiefs side of this, Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 43, 292, 4 touchdowns. Nobody had a rushing touchdown, but Jerick McKinnon, not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, led the team in rushing, 8 carries for 53 yards. And then Marquez Valdez-Scantling actually led Kansas City in receiving 6 catches for 90 yards, but all 4 touchdowns went to Travis Kelce, who had 7 catches for 25 yards. Let's first talk about the elephant in the room, and let's talk about that roughing the passer call at the very end of the second half of the first half. Chris Jones is going in for a sack. He takes down Derek Carr. He literally takes the football from him, and then he falls on him. He even puts his hand out to stop the full body weight. The NFL has a problem here. They need to do something. What's your analysis on just the call itself? What needs to be done?
I mean, I'm a former defensive lineman, so seeing these calls, it angers me because it's like, okay, what are we supposed to do to get to the quarterback? Do we just, push him down? But a flag will still get thrown too. It's almost like, why don't you just put flags around these quarterbacks so they can't be touched? I mean, they're wearing pads back there for a reason, so they can take hits, right? Like, what was so bad about that?
That wasn't even a bad hit.
Look, you just took the words right out my mouth because I was just about to say, what was so bad about
that was egregious. That was like if NFL players are not allowed to just take players to the ground like a quarterback, and that's a sack. Like, what is even the point of playing? Like, you might as well be playing football in a t-shirt and shorts out there if you can't like actually hit the quarterback with any kind of force. It may be like, I think it's going to absolutely, like, this call and the one against Tom Brady in the Atlanta Falcons game, there is going to be some sort of review either this offseason. They're going to be calling about, like, they're going to be doing a full review, and these players will be reviewable, and they will review them after every single one.
Yeah, and even
you can't have the game tainted. Like, people watch the NFL for, like, sometimes for the big hits, and they're like, if you can't even get that now, people are gonna check out. The product is going to be diminished. People already complained that the NFL is too pass happy, too offensive happy, too offense centered as it is, and then when you have plays like this happening all the time, and you can't touch wide receivers anymore, and unless you're like illegal contact and you're just holding all of the Raiders receivers, and like nobody calls any of that. Like, if there's offensive pass interference on that other touchdown, the Travis Kelce touchdown, nobody called that either. Like,
The problem
It was
is
just a myriad of bad officiating. This might be the worst officiating game I've seen this year.
Yeah, and I'll even say this. A lot of people have been weighing in, both former players and current players. And guess who one of those former players was? David. Someone that you said was dead. Bruce Smith.
Man,
I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting this go.
I picked up on that. Anyways, yeah, but I just don't, TJ, you want to weigh in before we move back into the actual action on the football field, the other stuff?
Yeah, the issue that we have is it's too subjective. Like these calls are like you can have it by the book. This is the rule. This is what it is. But the problem is like those rules are too open for interpretation, right? So like I said in the group chat, to this ref, that's rough in the passer, but to the ref next to him, that's not rough in the passer. That's not this. That's not that. So what they need to do is really like get all the refs in one room, sit down, and be like, hey, no more of this. If it's this, like no more of this, leave it up for interpretation. Like this is what it is.
No. This is a call that should you can have one reference for his opinion, but this needs to be reviewed every time.
Yeah.
Treat it like targeting in college football.
Treat it like targeting in college football. So it's like every time, like throw the flag, and it's just like they used to, and just like they do with fumbles now, right? You don't blow the play dead. If you think it's a fumble, allow the events to play out. Then you go back and review it. Then you determine if it's a fumble or not. It's literally the same thing. If you think it's targeting, call the targeting penalty. The previous play is under further review. Come back. Yes, this is targeting. No, it's not targeting, and so on and so forth. Yes, this is roughing the passer. No, this is not roughing the passer.
I think the problem you get in with that just that way of thought, and people are going to complain about the slowing of the game, and now we're reviewing everything.
I don't care. But we're not reviewing everything in every call. We're reviewing this one specific aspect of the game.
I'm just saying it opens up a can of worms because we already tried this with pass interference at one point that didn't play out. I just can see the other side of this argument because you already have like this. Let's just take the NBA for an example. They review a lot of stuff in the NBA, and people complain that it slows the pace of the game down. And
but they still watch.
I think people are going to start to complain about that aspect. I don't think people will stop watching it. The people will eventually they'll get used to it. Like the same way in the NBA. Like they used to review everything in the NBA, and now they've certainly toned it way back. And I think it's at a point where it's pretty good now.
I have a bigger gripe with the rest of the game that happened. So like David said, like this is probably at least this season, this is probably the worst officiated game so far. Of the 5 games that's been of the 5 weeks, this is probably the worst officiated game so far. Like you had Max Crosby get hold, like he got held on a Kelsey, returning into Kelsey's 3rd touchdown of the game. There was an OPI on Kelsey's 4th touchdown of the game because there was literally a Chiefs receiver literally setting a moving pick. Like he just literally ran in front of the Raider defender. So
they're allowed to do that within the first 1 yard, but
there is no yard in that situation. Like you're on the goal.
It's true. So I don't really know how they officiate that, but
they then call Chris Jones got held on. Chris Jones got held. Like the way he got held on, it was terrible. Like that was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was
like,
really
how do you
bad.
not call that? And then the one that irks me the most is a holding call on a missed field goal that becomes an automatic first down, which leads to a Chiefs touchdown. You know the last time a defensive holding call was called on the field goal attempt, David Christian?
If I was a betting man, I would say it's probably been over 30 years.
7. It's been 7 years. 7 years. But like the fact remains, it's not called. It's not called. So and if you're gonna call that, talk about a can of worms that you're opening. If you're gonna call that, then you have to call that every time now, because now it's like how do you call it then and not here? Because you can call holding on every field goal attempt ever. Like seriously, you can call holding on.
It's true. So let's talk about the other elephant in this room. How about the decision by Josh McDaniels after the Raiders scored the touchdown that if they had kicked the extra point, they would have tied the game. They decide not to. They decided to go for a 2-point conversion. It fails. It puts them down by 1. What do you think about that decision?
It was stupid.
By Josh McDaniels and by the Las Vegas Raiders.
Look, if you have the opportunity to get points and it's sitting right there in front of you, you take the points because you're not gonna be guaranteed to get the 2-point conversion every single time or make it and move the chains on 4th down. Like we've seen that a couple of times this year already.
I think the thing that irks me about it the most is the fact that, like, I get that decision if it's a walk-off, right? You're walking off. Like, this is the game. Like, you're basically either going to win or you're going to lose. There is no in between. They had an entire 3 minutes where they would have to kick it to Kansas City anyways. They were going to get the ball. Why? Why would you put yourself in a fact that where you would have to get the ball back in order to tie the game when you had an opportunity to do so? Like, going up by 1 does nothing for you if you're going to have to kick it back to them. It doesn't like there's no like analytics, like people talk about analytics all the time. It makes no sense at all to go for 2 in a situation where it's not a walk-off situation. There's 2.5 minutes left in the game or it might have been 4. It might have actually been 4 minutes left in the game. You were going to have to kick it back to them. It makes no sense at all to go for 2 there. It's like Nathaniel Hackett making decisions out there. Like, it's for real. That is one of the boneheaded decisions. That's why, I mean, Josh McDaniels has been a coordinator. He doesn't make those decisions all the time. It was a bad decision. Bad. Horrible. Yeah. Makes 0 sense whatsoever.
And then it's like, that was just, I don't get it. It's just bad coaching. Like you said, like you had 3 whole minutes to go, and it's like, it's not if you get this 2-point conversion, the game's over. Right? Yeah. Like, no. All right, there was a lot of time left, and we
literally just watched this movie last year, like 2 years ago, right? Where like Kansas, or it might have been last year, Las Vegas Raiders took the lead and they kicked it to Patrick Mahomes with like 40 seconds left in the game, and they still lost that game because it's Patrick freaking Mahomes. Like the mindset right there, it just makes no sense. I understand you're like, oh hey, now they only need a field goal to be this. It doesn't. They would have needed a field goal anyways. It makes no sense whatsoever.
And I think like what's even more frustrating about it is even if you like take the point. Like you tie the game, you got the stop you needed.
Yeah.
Now you're like either way it goes, like you were going for the win, but if like that 4th down, like even if you don't get it, 9 times out of 10, you're punting and you're prepping for overtime.
Yep.
In the event
that terrible missed illegal contact call is not even a factor.
No, because like they're just like, oh, Renfro and Adams ran into each other, but the illegal contact came
before
they ran into each other.
Yeah, because you're going only 5 yards, but yeah, this is a really missed opportunity for the Raiders. This is a game you should win. I mean, you're up 20-10 at halftime. You shouldn't let Kansas City come back in this game. We actually saw Chandler Jones signing in this game for once this year so far this season.
All their losses are by 1 score. Then you got Devontae Adams pushing the camera guy after the game, and
he's probably gonna get suspended. He's gonna get suspended for that, I think.
He is. Like there's 2 angles. I implore everyone to see both angles, not just the one that went viral the first go round, where it just looks like he just walks up to the guy and just pushes him. The second angle literally shows the guy just darting out in front of him, and then Adams pushed him. It's still a terrible look. I'm not defending Adams what he did, but context is everything. The guy went to the hospital. He filed a report citing injuries. I'm like, dude, you weren't injured. You literally hopped right up after you got pushed down. At this point, you're just, you're looking for a check. And I don't blame you. I did the same thing. I'd have been like Ezel, Christian.
My neck, my back, my tibia, my tibia. Look, my small intestine, my kidney.
Travis Kelce continues to be a terror when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. Any other takeaways for this game before we move on?
Kansas City has issues with red zone defense, and that is what's going to be what keeps them from advancing and going home in the playoffs.
That's a
I mean,
home
they're
run.
I mean they're going up against Buffalo next week, so go if you play defense like this, you will lose.
I know.
Let's move on to let's close the book on chapter number 5 and get ready to open up to chapter number 6. But first, game balls. I actually remembered to get my game ball today, so I don't. It's not over there. My game ball is going to Travis Kelce. Way to go, man! 7 catches, 25 yards, 4 touchdowns. He just continues to be a thorn in the side of the Las Vegas Raiders. And Mr. Kelce, you get David on points, game ball. So congratulations, my friend. Christian.
Let TJ go first before me. Let TJ go first.
My game ball goes to Brian Robinson Jr. and it's not
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
I don't
That's
care.
it.
I don't care that he had a bad game. Like the guy made. First off, it's his first game of the season after David pointed out yesterday was a victim of an attempted carjacking. He got shot twice, and like he come out to the game, they playing mini man by 50 Cent. I'm like, oh yeah, he on one today. But it's his first game. It's his first game. So, but it was a welcome back. It was a welcome back to him. Like that's my game ball.
Christian.
Yeah, for me, giving it to Jeffrey Wilson, 49ers running back, 17 carries, 120 yards rushing, 7.1 yards per attempt, and a touchdown. I mean, look, it's not that difficult to run through the Carolina Panthers defense. I think Stevie Wonder could run through that if he wanted to. But I'm not going to disrespect Stevie Wonder, but when the 49ers have that running game going, that just makes life a hell of a lot easier for Jimmy Garoppolo.
We got a quick question on here before we move on to week number 6. David Henderson, always thank you very much. I appreciate you viewing the show. So he says the Raiders look horrible. His question is, would you scrap the season or rebuild if they lose another?
Yeah, because I don't know. Derek Carr is the answer for them moving forward. Hasn't won you a playoff game. You've put nice weapons around him. I mean, you have a top 3 wide receiver around him. You got a top 3 tight end. But then again, there's been times when he's been the reason why they won football games, but he can only play offense. It's been their defense that's really holding them back. Look at some of those teams that they have to play in the AFC. Look at who they played in the playoffs last year. The Bengals. They have a prolific offense. Kansas City.
You paid a bunch of money to Chandler Jones. He's been a complete waste.
Right. So they got to get that defense right. Outside of Max Crosby with a straight face, who scares you on that defense? My point exactly.
Yeah. I think it's like when you say scrap the season, because like NFL seasons are more than just 1 year. I mean, like this is not a team that's going to the Super Bowl this year, anyways. Like this is more for the future thing. I wouldn't scrap it. I think they need to figure out something on this defense. Their offensive line is still a question mark too, and they do have some nice pieces: Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller got hurt during this game in the first quarter, didn't come back. So we'll see. I wouldn't pull the plug on this just yet.
I say I'm with you, David. I say no because all your losses are within one score. You're 3 scores away from being 4-1 as opposed to 1-4.
Yep. Moving on to week number 6, and the Chicago Bears are the team that gets to play on Thursday Night Football against the Washington Commanders. This game is in Soldiers Field. I think I have the graphic mixed up, but this game is in Soldiers Field. The Commanders coming in here at 1-4, losing 4 straight games after they beat Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bears coming off that loss to the Minnesota Vikings. The last time these two teams played was in 2019. The Chicago Bears beat up the Washington Commanders 31-15. I do not remember anything about this game, but Bears did win. How do you see this one shaking out, Christian?
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be boring, probably like how it was last week. But, I mean, both these offenses just don't do it for anybody. The Bears have been struggling, but Justin Fields continues to climb the ladder these last couple of weeks. His defense just couldn't hold up. Carson Wentz is good for an interception or 2, maybe even 3 a game. And this Commanders offensive line is absolutely horrible. I expect this to be low scoring, hard hitting, and physical. I'm going to take the Bears in this one.
I'm also rolling with the Chicago Bears. This Washington Commanders team, it may be the most disappointing team in the NFL so far. The offensive line is terrible. I think the Bears will be able to generate some sort of pass rush. I think the Bears will get back to 500 in this game. They'll win the game. TJ.
I agree. But David, to the game they played in 2019, the Bears won. Trubisky threw 3 touchdowns. Danny Trevathan hit one of the at the time they were the football team. He hit one of their offensive linemen with a fake spin. It was nasty, bro. Like he blitzed, hit him with a little hezzy, and got the lineman a bite and went right past him for a sack. I think that was a Monday night game, so we had to deal with Booger McFarland and his terrible commentary. I'm so glad he no longer calls games and he is just in the studio. But I'm interested to see how the team, the Washington team, responds to the comments Ron Rivera made about Carson Wentz, indirectly as they may have been. But just to reiterate, Ron Rivera was asked, what's the difference between your team and the other 3 in the division who seem to be playing good football right now? And he said quarterback. Not the terrible offensive lineman that David brought up, not the defense that Christian brought up, but you're single-handedly putting all the blame on this one guy. Not one Washington running back has ran for more than 60 yards in a game this season, but that's Carson Wentz.
They paid Scary Terry a bunch of money this season. He's been like basically invisible this year.
Like so, I like what the Bears did offensively the last game. I mean, it took a while for it to click. But they did rattle off. They rattled off 19 unanswered points against a Vikings team that many expect to win the NFC North. All right, so they're also debuting a new helmet, not a new jersey, just a new helmet, orange helmet.
Orange.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be orange helmet, orange jersey, and white pants. You know, some simple, but again, you can't debut new drip and lose. So there you go.
Moving on from Thursday night, let's swing into Sunday afternoon. We got the San Francisco 49ers coming off that beatdown to Carolina Panthers, going into Atlanta, taking on the Falcons, fresh off that victory against the Cleveland Browns. San Francisco 3-2, the Falcons are surprisingly 2-3. This last time these 2 teams played was in 2021. San Francisco won 31-13. Do you see this game shaking out the same way, TJ?
Trent Williams back this game.
We'll look that up. Give me a second.
Take time. But if he is, then I really don't think it matters. I just think San Fran just has the better team, right? Like they just better from top to bottom, right? I don't even think if Deshaun Watson was there, I don't even think that would have made that much of a difference. This is like Cleveland. They like to run the ball. They're not going to be able to run the ball on this defense at all. I don't know if Nick Bosa's playing. I think he got hurt too.
Yeah, I don't think either. I don't think Trent Williams or Bosa are going to play in this game, but I don't think it matters. I think they can beat Atlanta without him. I'm taking the 49ers. I'm pretty close to making this my lock of the week, but I'm going to go for the rest of the
matchup. Stop it. Just stop it.
I have to make a lock of the week.
No, just stop it.
I got one left.
That's cute. I like the 49ers. When they get that running game going, like I said at the top of the show, they're tough out because they're going to wear you down. And they're going to continuously run the football down your throat until you can stop it. And I think that's going to be the case on Sunday.
No, I just feel bad for them because like if you're the Falcons and you take what happened to you last week, like you feel like you got robbed, right? You feel like you got robbed. This is the difference between being like last week is really going to be the difference between you being possibly 3-3 and 2-4. Like you're probably going to be 2-4 after this game.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, we roll with the 49ers. Moving on, we're going to swing into the AFC. We got the New England Patriots coming off that victory against the Detroit Lions where they blanked them. And then we got the Cleveland Browns coming off that Cleveland Browns. I don't remember who they even played last week. Does anybody?
The Chargers.
The Chargers. Thank you. The Chargers. They played the Chargers last week and they lost. So they're 2-3 to 2-3. Last time these two teams played was last season. The New England Patriots won 45-7 in a big game for Mac Jones. I do not think the game was going to shake out like that, but I do think New England's going to win the game. I think they simplified their offense. I know they lost Damian Harris, but then Roger Stevenson's a capable running back. Look for New England to make this an ugly, messy game. And I haven't particularly loved what I've seen out of Cleveland the last 2 weeks. So give me the New England Patriots to win the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking New England as well because what's Belichick known for doing? Stopping what it is you do best. He's gonna come out 10-man, maybe even 11-man box and force Jacoby Brissett to beat them. I don't think he's capable of doing that. I agree with you, David. I think New England does make this a sloppy game, but I'm gonna take the Patriots.
And Belichick knows Jacoby Brissett.
Exactly.
So,
because he drafted him. He let him start a couple of games for him.
So it is what it is, right? I just wish Cleveland would just put it together. Like you know what you want to do, you just can't. It sucks because it just does. It just sucks.
Yeah, I mean they're fighting an uphill battle for most of the season, and this will be another one of those games. Moving on from there, we got a battle between the NFC and the AFC. We got the Jets coming off that victory against the Miami Dolphins, going up into Lambeau and taking on the Green Bay Packers, fresh off that, taking that L to the Christian Simpson-led New York Football Giants. Both teams are 3-2. Last time these two teams played was in last season. It might have been open weekend of last season. But the Jets actually won this game 23-14. So how do you guys see this one shaking out, TJ?
Jets and the Packers. This was not opening week last year.
2 years ago? They played August 20th, 2021 is the last time they played.
Is that a preseason
It's like a
game?
preseason game? Like what is NFL Network doing to me here?
All right, that had to be a preseason game.
Oh. Yo, what's up? Sorry, I didn't. What's up, Izzy? Welcome to the show, CEO.
What's going on, guys? I came in at the right time because my Packers is being talked about. So let's talk about it. You know what's going to happen this week? We're about to make an example out of the New York Jets. That's what we're about to do. We're about to make an example out of them.
Is that really?
We about to beat them like we should have beat the New York Giants.
Is that really saying something though? Like, we're gonna make an example.
No, it's not saying. I guess it's not saying much according to you, but according to me, we're gonna make an example out of it. You know.
I think according to a lot, it said making an example of the Jets. It's not the
who have been playing pretty good football this season. Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Green Bay Packers too. I think that they're going to be angry. I think they don't like the way they lost that game against the Giants. Look for them to bounce back, even though the Jets have been playing really stout defense, especially the Sauce Gardner, who should be the defensive rookie of the year so far. Give me the Packers. I do think this will be closer than people expect. Christian. Is it you're super low? You got to boost your mic, man. We can barely hear you. Christian, go ahead.
I'm actually going with the upset here. I'm taking the Jets because they have that defense to get after Aaron Rodgers, and I just trust Zach Wilson a little more with his receivers, and I trust Aaron Rodgers with his right now. You know, I just think that they can go in there and they can punch the Packers in the mouth.
No.
Look, you just still bitter because the Giants got your ass. That's all it is.
No.
That's all it is.
You know what? You know what's about to happen? Bro. You know what's about to happen.
I'm about to send you off to grandma's house. TJ, who do you got in this game?
I mean, history says go with Green Bay, right? History says that, right?
History does say that.
But to your point, David, Sauce Gardner, first off, he got his first career pick this past Sunday.
Yep.
The question here is, who do you throw him on?
You can throw him on anybody. Because nobody.
I guess you put him on Alan Lazard. I think he's their most dangerous weapon. I think that's the guy you want to focus on stopping.
Well, Randall Cobb had almost 100 last week. He was one short of 100.
Yeah, not. Yeah, okay. Right,
Yeah,
like that's
I mean, honestly,
Or you
I
just
think
have him. You
honestly,
just
as the
have him
one
take it
goes out,
one.
I
Just
think,
take him take one side and just have him block whoever that
yeah,
wide
yeah.
receiver
I
is.
mean,
like down that one side.
Yeah,
Uh,
whoever happens to go over there, that's who he guards.
tell, tell
to
him
to
to Sherman, Richard Sherman over there.
to Christian's point, the Jets do have a defense. They have a front they have a front that's tough. Quentin Williams can collapse your pocket, so he can knock Aaron Rodgers off the spot, which Aaron Rodgers has also proven in the past that really doesn't matter because he can literally throw from anywhere. But and the Packers at home. Yeah, I'll take the Packers by 3.
I don't think it'll be that close, in my opinion. Moving on from this game, we're going to swing into the AFC South. We got two AFC South foes locking horns at the Jacksonville Jaguars at 2-3, going up against the Indianapolis Colts in the house that Peyton Manning built. Jacksonville Jaguars 2-3, Colts 2-1. Last time these two teams played was the Jacksonville Jaguars beating them earlier this season, 24-0. Then they get to chase each other again 3 weeks later. That is an awfully quick turnaround. Jacksonville coming off that loss to the Houston Texans. Colts coming off the loss or the win against the Denver Broncos on Thursday Night Football. How do you see this one shaking out, Christian?
Is Jonathan Taylor playing?
I think he's trending in the right direction.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to see a different Colts team and a better effort than you saw the last time in Florida. I like the Colts.
I would certainly hope so.
Yeah, I definitely I do like the Colts, but Jacksonville will be in this game.
DJ.
Well, we got one coach out the way. Matt Rule, you're fired. Another coach that's on a hot seat is Frank Wright. All right.
That seat is piping hot too.
That's woo!
Demon.
That seat is hot. Would I be surprised if they was like if the Jags win and Frank Wright gets his pink slip after this game? Absolutely not.
No.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm gonna go with the Jags. I just don't like what the Colts got going on right now, man. Like it's tough to watch. Like it really is.
I think that because this game's at home, I think the Colts will rise up and they'll play good football. I think Jonathan Taylor will play well. Give me the Colts. Izzy.
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. This is a tough one,
right?
Yeah, give me the Colts, man. It's in Indy.
It's in the house that Peyton Manning built.
Am I the only one picking the Jags? Am I the only one picking the Jags?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you're the only one picking the Jags. Yeah,
you do your own thing. That's what you do.
Yeah, they can't lose to the Jags. I think what was the record in Jacksonville for the Colts was like 0-11?
They lost the last 8 in a row, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. They lost this season already to Jacksonville. They ain't doing it again. They're gonna do a lot of running the ball with Jonathan Taylor if he is there. If not, I like what I saw of Philip Lindsay. He ran the ball pretty effectively the last game they had. And honestly, when they've been down, Matt Ryan has, been able to, he's been a roller coaster as well. So, but give me Indy in this game. Jacksonville, kind of lost a little confidence last week. I think losing to Houston, and they'll lose this game. So
he said he lost a lot of confidence.
Like losing on Houston. Come on, man.
Yeah. I got you.
Moving on from this game, we got a matchup between the NFC North and the AFC East. We got the Minnesota Vikings coming off that victory against the Chicago Bears, going into Miami, into South Beach, taking on the Miami Dolphins, fresh off taking that L to the New York Jets that we just talked about a couple minutes ago. Minnesota 4-1, Miami 3-2. If you're asking me right now, I do not know who the quarterback is going to be for the Miami Dolphins. If I was a betting man, I think it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater, but I do not know that for sure. Last time these two teams played was in 2018, and Minnesota won 41-17. And real quick, I'm just going to get this out of the way. This is actually going to be my lock of the week. I'm going to pick the Minnesota Vikings to win this game. That's my lock of the week, Minnesota. There you go.
Yeah, no, that's my lock of the week. I'll pick that as a lock as well, David. Minnesota. Who was the third string quarterback?
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson. Yeah, Miami fans, just stop all that nonsense talk. Yeah, Miami Dolphins loses in a rout. Yeah, to Minnesota. Over
Yeah.
with. I don't have nothing else to say.
Oh man,
TJ.
yeah, Mike McDaniel. Well, the team doctor who cleared Tua is the scapegoat here, but the coaching staff played a role in that. They have basically tossed their season down the drain with how they handled that situation.
They did,
Now you're
for sure.
now you're going into a situation where Mike McDaniel literally came out and said, "I don't know who's going to be quarterbacking this Sunday." For your sake, you better hope it's at least Teddy Bridgewater.
Better. Nah, bro. He shouldn't. If he had a concussion, he shouldn't play. Seriously.
I mean,
I mean,
I don't even think
if he gets to the protocols, he should be allowed to play. Like,
Right.
let's not pretend like if you get a concussion,
was
like you're just gonna be done forever.
right. And I don't even think that was a real concussion. That was just like more so a precautionary thing. So because like they already said, like they kept him out of the game for a concussion, but he didn't show any signs of a concussion. And again, for your sake, you better hope it's Teddy Bridgewater quarterback in this game. Again, the Vikings are coming off a game where they literally had to steal a victory because they was going to lose that game against the Bears. They was going to lose that game. I swear to God, they was going to lose. But the Vikings should definitely win this. I don't know if what's his name, Byron.
I will look that up as well because he's coming off the pub list. I don't think he played in that game against the Jets. So I do not believe. I do not believe he will play. He's still out. He hasn't practiced. Xavier Howard might be out too during this game as well.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! So we saw what's his name? We saw what Jay Jettis did to the Bears with their top DB was down. Miami, you're missing your top two, most likely. Vikings, and it shouldn't be close.
Christian,
not close at all.
I'm taking Minnesota. Miami, they're just in shambles right now. It's funny. They were on top of the world. It seemed like after beating Buffalo, and everything's just kind of spiraled out of control for them right then and there. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of the gritty on Sunday.
A lot of gritty.
Moving on to this game, we're going to swing into the AFC North going up against the NFC South. Both these teams coming in at 2-3. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going into the Bayou, taking on the New Orleans Saints. Cincinnati coming off taking that loss to. Man, my brain is not working right now. I don't remember. I don't even remember. Baltimore, and the Saints beat. Last time these two teams played, they played in 2018, and the Saints won 51-14. A much different era in Bengals and Saints football for sure. But how do you see this one shaking out, Izzy?
Man. Well. If the Saints, the Saints are gonna play. They're gonna keep everything in front of them. They ain't gonna. We know how. We know how Joe Burrow feels about the deep ball, right? He's looking for it all the time. Saints gonna keep everything in front of them. They're gonna rush forward. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Cincinnati, their defense better be ready for those packages when Taysom Hill comes out because he is deadly. In all those packages, he's a ball player. Give me New Orleans to win this game. I'm not even gonna predict the score. Just give me New Orleans. Taysom Hill with a couple tutties in this game.
I'm also going to roll with New Orleans. I like, using Taysom Hill the way they used him. I like getting Alvin Kamara a little more involved. I will go with New Orleans, but I think this game will be close. I think it could be a sloppy, messy game, too. I don't know who the starting quarterback for the Saints is going to be, by the way. I also don't know if Michael Thomas is going to play in this game. Still going to roll with the Saints. TJ.
It's probably Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton's the main quarterback.
Cincinnati has their offensive line has gotten worse. They didn't know that was possible. Seriously, did not know that was possible.
Well, I mean, they did shore it up for a few weeks, but then when they went up against the Ravens, that was tough. 2 weeks.
A few weeks.
Yeah, for 2 weeks, it looked like it was a competent offensive line.
They was in shambles. They was in shambles since week one. Come on, man. TJ Watt had a party.
He
TJ
did,
Watt had a party.
he did have a party.
Have a party.
Come on, man.
Anyways, but who back to this game.
So yeah, they coming off. They face some tough defenses, right? Pittsburgh, week 1 at least. Pittsburgh. Then you go to Dallas. Their only win was not their only one, but they beat the Jets, and I forgot who else they beat. Now you're going.
They beat. I don't. My brain is not working right now, so just continue.
Cam Jordan should have he should have a party, and it's in the dome. It's in the dome.
They beat the Dolphins last week in that game on Thursday night.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's in the dome, right? Like they got to go to the Big Easy. It's in the dome.
They got to go to the Bayou, baby.
They got to go to the Bayou. Cam Jordan should have a party.
Christian.
I think this is a must-win for the Bengals because they're 2-3. They're facing a former quarterback and Andy Dalton. That Saints defense is going to be tough, especially that front four on that offensive line.
And I wonder if people picked up on, not to cut you off, Chris. I wonder if people picked up on Joe Mixon's tail, like I told y'all about.
That video went super viral, I'm sure.
It did. And I also wonder if they picked up on what the Ravens did defensively, right? They played a lot of zone. Right? That means like you got arguably the best receiver core / trio in the NFL. I'm not playing no man against these dudes, especially number one. I am not playing man defense on Jamar Chase.
I'm taking the Bengals. I think it's a must win. I'm going against the grain here. It's a must win. The Saints defense can be had. I expect Joe Burrow to come out with a lot of quick passes, and this is going to be his first game at the Superdome since winning the national championship with LSU. Him and Jamar Chase, and he knows that Louisiana area really well, almost like a homecoming for him, and I think he thrives. I'm going to take Cincinnati on the road.
Moving on from this game, staying still in the AFC North, but this time they're going up against the NFC North. Baltimore 3-2 going up against the 4-1 New York Football Giants. Baltimore fresh off that victory against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Giants fresh off of beating Green Bay across the pond in London. The last time these two teams played was in 2020, and Baltimore got the best of the Giants, 27-13. Christian, since this is your team, I will let you go first. Who do you think wins between the Ravens and the Giants?
Well, you know what's coming. It's the first one, baby. Shameless plug. Baltimore simplified things last week, meaning instead of playing man, they went to playing that zone, and it worked. They don't have the corners or the depth in the secondary to play man coverage. And if they're going to do it, they're going to get burned exactly how they did in week 2 against the Miami Dolphins. Look how they kept everything underneath, and then they pursued the ball. As soon as a wide receiver was making that cut, you saw one of those corners right there, reading the receiver, reading his feet, and keeping their eyes on the quarterback. I'll say this about Baltimore's offense. They need a true number one wide receiver because all the great quarterbacks have a true number one receiver that they could depend on. For Baltimore right now and Lamar Jackson, it's Mark Andrews, right? But they need another guy because when you double Mark Andrews, who can he turn to? Like, look at all the great quarterbacks. Brady has Evans. Mahomes, he has a tight end in Kelsey, but he still spreads the ball around really well. Yeah, I just think they need a guy who can bring some depth, some stability to the offense. And then as for the Giants, that was a grinded out game last week. Then they're showing you that these aren't the Giants of old. The team that's going to throw the towel in and the team that's just going to give up. I preview this one on Thursday. Find out who I have winning that.
TJ.
Give me the Ravens.
Izzy.
Saquon Barkley, my boy. Yeah. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants at home, son. G-Man. Let's go.
I'm going to roll with the Ravens. I just think that they're a more talented football team on paper, but I could see a scenario where this game is close. real close. This Giants team has been gritty. They play hard for their new head coach. And Daniel Jones has been playing pretty mistake-free football, and that's really all you can ask from him at this point. So kudos to him.
Daniel Jones. Be Daniel Jones. Don't try to be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, don't try to be Danny Dimes. Just
one
be
thing
you.
about the Raiders, just haven't been able to stop the run. Saquon Barkley's been the best running back so far in football.
Yep, 100%. Moving on from there, we're going to stay with the team in the AFC North. This time, they're hosting a team from the NFC South. Congratulations, Kenny Pickett. Christian, your mic. Congratulations, Kenny Pickett. After going up against the future MVP in Josh Allen, you get the GOAT the week after that, and Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got the 3-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh coming off that loss to Buffalo. Tampa Bay squeaking out that victory against the Atlanta Falcons. Last time these two teams played was in 2019, and Pittsburgh won a squeak out 30-28. How do you see this one shaking out, Christian?
Really? Tampa. Tom Brady owns the Steelers. This goes back to his Patriots days. The Steelers just don't have an identity offensively. Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Kenny Pickett shouldn't be throwing that ball 52 times like he did last week. I don't like the Steelers defense without TJ Watt going against Tom Brady. We could see the almost had the Patriots offense. Dear God, the Buccaneers offense really opened things up on Sunday. I like Tampa.
Most roll with Tampa Bay. I don't think this game will be close.
You always say that, and then the opposite happens. Stop it.
TJ.
So the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
Actually, that's actually not the next game.
No, I know it's not the next game, but we're not there. These are two games that's not worth talking about.
All right, we'll blow through that one. Let's just blow through this one. Carolina Panthers, fresh off that Matt Rule coaching change, 1-4. Los Angeles Rams 2-3. I'm taking the Rams. Anybody taking anybody else?
No.
Okay,
I'm taking the Rams, and if the Rams lose this game, I have no hope for them at all.
Yeah, same here. If you lose
not even if they don't lose, but if it's a close game, like if the Panthers somehow give them a fight, yeah, I have no hope for them, bro. None.
Moving on to the battle in the NFC West. We got the Arizona Cardinals and going into Seattle and taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Both these teams had the exact same record at 2-3. The last time these two teams played was obviously last year, with Seattle actually upset Arizona 38-30. This might have been the last game of the season, potentially January 8th, 2022. Pretty close to the last week of the season. But how do you see this one shaking out? Christian, go ahead.
I like Arizona here. Seattle has shown you they can run out of gas, and I like how Kyler is playing. He's getting Marquise Brown involved. I know DeAndre Hopkins is right around the corner. He's coming back in a few weeks. They just got to keep things afloat until he comes back. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Arizona. I don't trust Seattle's defense one bit. You saw what they did to New Orleans and how they gave up big play after big play. What makes you think Kyler Murray won't run all around them either?
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. This game won't be close. TJ. Is he?
Yeah. You said the game won't be close?
No.
Between Arizona and Seattle?
No.
It's gonna be close.
It's in Seattle though.
Have
you seen how Seattle? You keep writing off Geno Smith, but he ain't wrote back yet.
Oh, stop it.
Come on, man. Give me Seattle at home, bro.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Hey, you know what, Izzy?
I don't even hate it. I don't hate it.
You know what? I don't hate it.
Geno Smith's been playing well. The young horse is back there. Kenneth Walker from Michigan State. Go Sparty. Nah, don't go Sparty. I'm just playing.
Young horse.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker had a great game last week. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Geno Smith looks comfortable in that offense. I like Seattle at home, man.
Okay. To the game that should be on primetime somewhere, but for some reason isn't. Buffalo going into Arrowhead, a rematch of that epic playoff game from last season. Buffalo fresh off that victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Kansas City fresh off stealing that game against the Las Vegas Raiders. The last time these two teams played was obviously in the ABC divisional round, where Kansas City squeaked out that victory. I think it was I don't remember the exact score, but they won the final drive at the final point of the game. What was it, 17 seconds? All it took them to get down into the field goal range, kick the game-winning field goal. Do you guys think this game is going to shake out the same way with Buffalo and Kansas City? Izzy, go first.
Ooh, man. 12 seconds, boy. 12 seconds. Man, I see Buffalo winning this game. It's at home. It's in Buffalo, right?
No, this game's in Arrowhead.
It's in Arrowhead? Yeah. See, anyways, Kansas City gave Las Vegas too many opportunities to come back and win the game. And you can't play like that against Buffalo. Like the 3rd and 2 to keep to just drain the clock. That play was stupid. I don't get it. So it's just like little things that Andy Reid has been doing. Eric Bieniemy, just kind of like you're giving other teams like some leeway. Give me the Buffalo Bills. They've been waiting. This is a game they've been circling on their calendar. And they can't wait to go in the Arrowhead and win this game. Give me Buffalo to win, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. High-scoring.
Christian.
Shameless plug number 2. I've been waiting to get my hands on this. As soon as I saw the schedule come out in May, I said to myself, I'll be previewing this game for sure. I don't care if they're 0-4 or 0-5 at that point. That was such a thrilling playoff game last year, one of the best I've ever seen. But, I look at Buffalo. This is the reason why they went and got Von Miller for this game. To get after Patrick Mahomes. And the key for Buffalo, you got to hit him behind the line. You got to hit Mahomes behind the line of scrimmage, because if you don't, he's going to pick your secondary apart. You have to get to him before the ball is out of his hands. Keep him in a pocket. Make him a pocket passer. He can move in the pocket, but don't let him bounce outside. In Kansas City, that red zone defense is absolutely horrible. Every time the Raiders scored and marched the ball down the field in the red area, they came away with points for the most part. This is going to come down to the fourth quarter. I think we'll see a high-scoring game. I preview this one on Friday. Find out who I have winning that.
TJ.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills, man. Obviously the last memory of these two guys playing is like one of the best playoff games ever. And like it's like it said, 13 seconds, 12 seconds, whatever it was, right? You let them go 40 yards in 12 seconds. That don't happen. That shouldn't happen. That should never happen.
Nope.
But yeah, I don't like how the Chiefs played yesterday. And this is a Bills team that has more weapons, I would think, than the Raiders do. Right? Darren Waller was – it's close, but for the game, right? Waller was out. Yeah. You lost Waller pretty early. Josh Jacobs probably had his best game of the season so far. And on the defense, this is why you brought Von Miller in. This is exactly why you brought Von Miller in. Come on, man. Bills.
I'm rolling with the Bills too. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I think it'll come down to whoever has the football last. I think the Buffalo Bills they'll avenge that playoff loss, because this seems to be what they do. I mean, they lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs, and then they beat them down in the regular season. So, give me Buffalo to win the game. Moving on from this game, we're going to swing into Sunday Night Football, and we got a battle in the NFC East. We got the Dallas Cowboys going into Philadelphia and taking on the undefeated Eagles. Cowboys coming off their fresh victory against the Los Angeles Rams. Philadelphia coming off that victory against my memory right now is just not happening.
Arizona.
Thank you.
Look, this is the fourth time I done did this for you. I'm going to need you to get it together, sir.
Go beat Arizona. The last time these two teams beat Dallas, beat the Philadelphia Eagles 41-21. That happened pretty early last season, September 27, 2021. So we'll see what ends up shaking out here. Izzy, who do you like in this game? Do you like Mr. Virtuoso, or are you rolling with Mr. Cooper Rush from Central Michigan?
Stop it! Come on, man. You know who I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. They're gonna roll in to Dallas Is it in Dallas? It's in Dallas.
This
right?
game is in Philadelphia. It's in
It's in
Lincoln
Philadelphia.
Financial,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're at the link. They're at the link, and they're about to serve up Dallas some nice hot links. Okay, because they about to cook them. All right. And all that stuff about the Dallas Cowboys fans and Cooper Rush this, Cooper Rush that. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is gonna make Cooper Rush look like horse SHI, and I ain't gonna remind you about to add the T. Okay, so you know what? Y'all gonna be after this game. The Dallas Cowboys are gonna be hoping that Dak Prescott suits up sooner rather than later. Okay, and they're gonna realize that we cannot win this division or even compete in this division or compete with the Philadelphia Eagles without Dakota Prescott at quarterback. Okay, and then defensively for Dallas. Which Trayvon Diggs are we going to see, right? You're going to be matched up against A.J. Brown. You're going to be matched against Devontae Smith. You're going to be, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of weapons here. Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts that you got to deal with. Give me Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go.
I'm also going to roll with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this is the best defense that Cooper Rush is going to play since he became the starting quarterback at any point for the Dallas Cowboys. Even going back to last season when he played Minnesota, this is by far the best defense he will play. I think they'll make his life difficult. I think they'll put pressure on him, and this is also the best secondary he's played since he became a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, give me Philadelphia to win this game. TJ.
Eagles, Cowboys. Yeah, this is a game where you got to make Carson. You got to make Cooper Rush participate, right? You got to make him throw more than what he threw last week. 16 passes.
Yeah.
Completed 10 of them. Barely threw for 100 yards. Yeah, do that against the Eagles. It's gonna be a long day. Right? This is the Eagles defense. They know how to tackle. So that Tony Pollard big run that he had against the Rams, that's probably not going to happen, especially because they got the cogs up front that you can't just double Aaron Donald and be like, all right, that's it. We're clear, I fully expect to see at some point in time a front with Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis right next to him.
That's scary.
That is terrifying.
Sure, 100%.
That's scary.
So give me the Eagles.
Christian.
You know what's coming, David.
That's why I saved you for last.
Shameless plug number 3. Okay, you said something about Cooper Rush and this being the best defense that he's going to see. And you're not wrong, but you can say the same about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts hasn't really seen a great defense this year. Commanders, yeah, cry about it. Give me a break. Jacksonville, no, not at all.
You're not wrong.
Arizona, okay, that's cute. The Lions, right. I really like this Cowboys front four because they get home with just 4. They don't have to blitz. They don't have to put guys in a box. So I think if the Cowboys can make this an ugly game, they'll win. But Philly has to make this a shootout. And if Philly makes this a shootout, that's when I see Cooper Rush pressing. I preview this one tomorrow. Stay tuned.
And then the final game, Monday Night Football. We got the pretty disappointing Denver Broncos going into SoFi Stadium, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Denver coming off that disappointing loss to the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football. The Los Angeles Chargers coming off that victory, a game-winning K. Warwick missed the game-winning field goal against the Cleveland Browns. They're 3-2. Denver's 2-3. Last time these two teams played was obviously last season, where Chargers won 34-13. Obviously, it was not Russell Wilson behind the under center for the Denver Broncos, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to roll with the Los Angeles Chargers. I haven't liked at all what I've seen out of Denver. Do I think this is going to be a low-scoring game? It could be. I do like what I've seen out of the Denver defense, on the other hand, but I just think they're going to be on the football field a ton. This offense is not clicking for Denver. They don't run interesting sets. They don't run interesting motion. There's nothing dynamic about this offense right now. Give me the Chargers to win this game. Probably ugly, 20-17, maybe.
The Broncos going to score 17 points?
Maybe. They're lucky. TJ, go.
The Broncos, yeah, go ahead, TJ.
With the way they offense been looking, they going to score 17 points? That'll be like a season high. Anyway, yeah, the Chargers. I don't think this is going to be close. I don't like what I'm seeing out of Denver. The only way the Chargers lose this game is if Brandon Staley does Brandon Staley things. like go for it on fourth and whatever at midfield or something like that. Like this game has no business being a close game to me. I'm sorry.
Christian.
I'm taking the Chargers. I just don't trust Denver. Like they can't get out of their own way right now. Um, if Denver does win this game, it'll be because they will run the football because the Chargers are absolutely terrible at stopping the run. But I don't even trust them to do that. I like the Chargers and the fact that we have to sit and watch Denver on prime time once again.
Oh my
Is
God.
like, look, man.
Man,
Russell
flex
Wilson.
this Cheese Bills game. Just start flexing games in the middle of the season. Just do it.
Like, really?
I don't care if it screws over ticket holders who have bought this game or are expecting a Monday night game. I don't care. Just
Well,
put it
no,
on.
here's the thing. If a game is flexed, the ticket holders aren't screwed. They can just literally keep the ticket that they have and be like, hey, the game was flexed. It's for like that.
Yeah, but they still get to go to the game they bought a ticket for. Like
Yeah, they do.
I would be pissed off.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about? They just change the time. You don't change the date.
I mean, but if they let's say they move this Bills Chiefs game instead to move it to Monday night, that's a whole another day.
Right, like, well, that's different. Even then, like, it's like, oh, since the game was flexed from a different day, you either two choices. You can either get a voucher for that game, or you can be like, we can use the same ticket for this game. They're not going to lose out no revenue like that, David. Come on, man.
I know, I understand that, but if if somebody who bought it like a Sunday night ticket and then like I can't go to a Monday night game and the game gets moved to Monday night, I mean like a week before the game, I'd be pissed. I'd be so mad, especially if somebody who like bought a hotel and like was traveling for the game. I'd be furious. Anyways, let's get back to the gridiron stuff before we. Anyways, Izzy.
Yeah, give me the Chargers, man. I like the way the last two games they've been running the football with Austin Eckler. Obviously, but all the things that you guys mentioned, Denver has been just lackluster offensively. I feel like they're only on prime time because of Russell Wilson, who's everywhere.
100% the reason.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. And honestly, Denver, if it wasn't for Denver's defense playing pretty, they're wasting their defense this year.
Yep.
I hope everybody knows that. Like, I'm thinking, I hope everybody kind of agrees with that their defense has played pretty stout so far this season. It's the offense that's been horrible, So they're wasting their defense. Nathaniel Hackett, if he wasn't a first-year head coach, if this was a second year, he'd be brought out and fired Herm Edwards style, in my opinion. And
man, that's gonna be like the quote forever. Like if anybody ever gets fired, like or planning to get fired, let's fire him Herm Edwards style, like on the field in the middle of like right after the game. Like don't even wait for him to get it's over.
Yeah, it's just over. We're done. We're done with you. Yeah, no, give me the Chargers to win this game. I just like that they'll be well balanced. But yeah, they are missing Keenan Allen a little bit because there's nobody outside of Mike Williams.
I think there's an outside chance he might play in this game.
We're waiting for if he doesn't play, we're still waiting for those other guys, like Palmer and Everett to kind of step up, who had like one catch last week. So that needs to change. But yeah, I think the Chargers are a lot better than the Broncos. They get it done this week.
And that's been our Week 6 preview. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Tomorrow on tap for tomorrow's show, we got Fantasy Football Weekly. That'll air at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then me and TJ got the crossover. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to predict the standings in the Western Conference. And I'll try to be a little less disrespectful on this show than I was the last one. But I cannot.
Wait, what happened? What happened on the last show? What'd you do? You said some more. You said something else?
But I cannot make a promise like that. So we'll see.
Nah. What did you say? Is this still the Kings being better than the Lakers?
No. That's coming though.
What did you say? What did you say?
He picked the Bulls to be like the 9th seed in the East because one person's injured, just one guy.
Oh, anyway, yeah, I gotta go.
We'll be back doing Fantasy Football Weekly and the crossover tomorrow. You don't want to miss that content. I've been David Huppin, CEO of Prize Rumors, Israel Rivera, TJ Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Kristen Simpson. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. And gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
You about to get your ass cursed out. Nah, don't even answer it. You about to get cursed out. I'm tired of you. Look,
you guys give a game ball? You guys gave game ball at the beginning of the year, beginning of the show?
Yeah, we did that.
Go ahead, real quick.
Oh, okay. Can I get my game ball Taysom Hill?
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys all tomorrow. You guys all have a nice night. Stay safe. Peace out. And we bring the heat here at the Prime Sports World. We bring the heat.
Yeah, we bring the heat, ladies and gentlemen, and we taking you to grandma's house.
Peace out, guys.